Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing this morning? Hope you're all doing well. Morning, Mr. B. Shady, and I'm not sure what you're apologizing for, but whatever it is, you are totally forgiven. Morning, Mr. Ed. Morning, TC. Morning, Michael. Good morning, Mr. Keep It Scale Stupid. How are you doing on this beautiful Tuesday morning? I myself am doing just peachy keen. Monday nights are almost as boring as Sunday nights. And yes, be shady, we did make it through Monday. Mr. Ed is going to crash out. Well, I hope you get some well-needed rest, Mr. Ed. So let's get this thing started. In my front pocket last night, I had my Miguron Marrow. Marrow. It is an awesome knife. It is one I'm surprised I haven't done a mod to, but I kind of like the front flipper on it. A lot of people get rid of this front flipper because of how big it is. And it's got the like Vero like blade cut out, so it's perfectly okay without that giant flipper tab. But I kind of like opening it that way, so I have not modded this one yet. I had that in my front pocket. Very nice hollow grind. Very slicey. And then in my back pocket, I had my Kaiser Invictus. Super deep carry clip on it. Very comfortable knife for my hands. And the action on this thing is just very addictive. I've been playing with it all night long. It's got very nice fake detent with the plunge lock. But I carried my Invictus. And then in my back left pocket, I had my Vespa. After eating a little Debbie, is that when Ed's going to pass out? Is that what you're saying, Michael? Y'all go ahead and get that like button hit before you pass out on me, Ed. No, I'm just joking. You can do it later. So first off the rip, I need to share this so that some of you yesterday who might have wanted to get in on this can get in on this. But I just talked yesterday about how he was about to release another batch of these, and he did. So anybody that wants the Anthem, the link is in the Discord as well as right here in the chat. He did not increase the price like people thought he was going to. They were talking about $200, $225. They are $168. Yeah, Ed, kind of sucks. I know the feeling. I did go ahead and grab a second one to put up to have forever. But I think Mr. Christopher was the one wanting one. It might have been Robin, might have been Christopher, might have been Mitchell. Not sure. But they are available. Next. I did get, I wanted to get that done so that people could see that link in case they sell out. But yesterday I did receive my PM2, my Brown micartas. So I was reading the chat, sorry. Is Little Debbie a brand? Yes, it is a brand. They have all kinds of snack items. So yeah, I got the PM2 Flitanium scales that we're going to swap out on Thursday. They will go on here, and they will look better than that blue. So it's a start. And on that note, so back once again for anybody that might have joined. Morning, Pete. If I didn't say that, the anthems are back on sale again. Get in on it. So everybody has their favorite, Mister. By the way, good morning, Mister. If you want to know what Little Debbie's offer, they offer a ton of things, and everybody has their favorite. Let's see their snack cakes. Why did I see a link that said snack cakes? Yet I don't see. So they have all kinds of stuff. They have cosmic brownies. They have Swiss rolls. They have mini muffins. They have Star Crunch. They have Nutty Buddies. They have zebra cakes. They have Swiss rolls. They have chocolate chip cream pies. They have strawberry shortcake rolls. They have unicorn cakes. They have mini muffins. They have fudge rounds. They have more mini muffins. They have birthday cakes. They have apple cinnamon donut sticks. They have honey buns. They have all kinds of stuff. It is a brand. Yeah, the guy that paid $2.25 for one or whatever on Reddit should be a little mad. So that is Little Debbie. So I took advantage of a sale last night, and worked a little backwards as usual. Not surprising for me. But I went and bought some scales before I bought the actual knife, which is not the first time I've done that. But Flitanium is having a sale on their discontinued stuff. And so I need some help from you guys. I need a few knives. they're having a 50% off sale. I don't know how many they have left. I grabbed whatever I could of the ones left that I wanted. But I need a Civivi Elementum. Who has got a Civivi Elementum? I bought these contoured titanium scales for $13 because they were half price and they were knocked down because they were discontinued. So I got a pair of tie scales for $13 and now I need the knife. So who has a cheap price Civivi Elementum? A Civivi Elementum. Not a button lock. Just a regular Elementum. First gen. Just a Civivi Elementum. The ones like pictured on the screen that the scales would fit. So I need one of those. I also need, so I was able to find, I bought these, which are the Flow titanium scales for a Jesper Voxnays knife, the Pillar 3. I was able to grab one of those on eBay this morning. So I got that set of scales for $14, and I got the titanium backspacer for the Pillar 3 also. They do have a few mini bug out ones, but I got the titanium backspacer for $5 and the scales for $14. So that will build a nice knife. I've already got that one covered though. But I did also buy groove titanium scales for a baby banter. And I think the price, let's see, I paid $2.50 for the backspacer. And yeah, $7 for the scales. So I paid $9.50 for titanium scales and a backspacer. Then I paid $17 for the banter, the Wii banter, and then the Civivi baby banter I paid $16 for. So I need a Wii banter, a Civivi baby banter with the silver blade, and a Civivi Elementum. I know one of y'all's got one laying around. They also had the ones for the button lock, but I did not get those because I don't want a Elementum button lock. But yeah, y'all need to go check out that sale if you got any of those knives or want any of those knives. They have just some random stuff. But whatever the price is on here, you get it for half of that. So like these I got for $7 instead of $14. Alright. Next, Asher Knives released a new version, a new knife with a new lock. And it is the Asher A-Lock knife. It is a top liner lock, a button actuated top liner lock. And they have a warney and a drop point. Well, that didn't work. Let's see. Let's try that again. Nope. Nope. Anyway, they have the M390. They have a blue carbon fiber, and then they have the titanium in drop point and in Warncliffe. Good morning, Waylon. Morning, Robin. Morning, Cat Scratch. I did go ahead and grab one of the warnies, and he's already shipped it this morning, so that's pretty cool. Back to the people that weren't here at the beginning. If you want an Anthem clone, they are available. The link is up in the chat and in the Discord. Yeah, I'm glad to hear you're feeling better, Waylon. But yes, there are some Anthems available. Get them before they're gone. All right, what else did I have? I had a couple of posts that weren't really much. I just wanted to show 3 different cool versions of the Shaman. Y'all know how much I like the Shaman. That was a cool shot. I do like the snake skin or whatever those, I forgot what they're called, but I should have got one of those. And then I had another link of a knife I wanted to check out. I had not seen. And that is the Atomic Punk Knives Fury. It's got a giant flipper tab, but it looks kind of like... Good morning, William. Good morning, Christopher. One of y'all was wanting the Anthem, and they are available again. I did show it at the beginning of the stream. I can't remember who wanted one. But let's go find this knife. It looks like a nice Sever 7 knife, but I like the blade. And a flipper delete would be nice on that one. So, Atomic Punk Knives. Fury. Is this him? Probably. I'm going to follow him even if it isn't. And yes, imagine it is probably him because the blades look very similar. Except he got rid of that giant flipper tab on most all of these. But I have not seen his stuff. I don't believe. I might have. Doesn't ring a bell. I do like his blade shapes that he picks. I don't like that. That one has a recurve, so let's skip that one. But a lot of these look really nice. Wonder what the price is on some of these knives. Let's go back and check out and see if this guy says anything. Nope, he just shared a picture. That was it. Atomic Punk Knives. Yeah, I like a lot of his stuff. Rip X. Super cool. One was called the Fury, but I don't see it. up at the top. So that guy must have got one maybe a while back. Was just posting a picture of it. But at least it got us to check them out. Russo Mini. Man, that is a pretty knife. I could almost deal with that little recurve. There you go, Christopher. Good job, buddy. I thought it was you. I said earlier it was either Christopher or Robin or Mitchell. I was about to say, that looks like a Shiro. And it is a Shiro. So that's a pretty cool little... Oh, I like the lock bar. Did y'all see the lock bar cut he made? Like a lightning bolt? That was pretty cool. Don't necessarily like the frag, but I like that lightning bolt lock bar. There's the lightning bolts again. I told you how synchronicity always comes into play in my life. We're going down the right track. That's how I know I'm going down the right track whenever I see all these synchronicities line up. We were supposed to end up here today after talking about lightning clips the other day. So we are on the right path. It happens to me, stuff like that happens to me constantly. I took a trip out to California a few years back, and I had a bunch of dogs, and I just had a new puppy, and I named him Tucker, and I got lost somewhere, and I was trying to read a street sign in California, and I looked up and I saw Tucker Road. So I was like, well, that's pretty synchronistic. So I turned on Tucker Road, and it got me right where I needed to be. So just funny to me. Oh, that's awesome, mister. I didn't know they had a 20 CV one. Oh, you mean an original, maybe? Yeah, Tucker was a cool dog. He was a Jack Russell. He was inbred. His mother was his sister. So he was, he had a little bit of that game in him from the terrier side where he would latch on to other dogs and would not let go. I got bit one time and almost like got cut trying to pry his jaws off of another one. So yeah, he was pretty wild. But yeah, he was an awesome dog. I could show you a picture of Mr. Tucker. Let me, we like dogs around here. So, let's look at a picture of Mr. Tucker. Well, uh, that's pretty funny. Seeing some of these dog pictures is bringing back memories. All right, where is Mr. Tucker? Well, here is Y'all, I'm gonna show y'all a cool doghouse I built a long time ago for my Jack Russells. And I'll have to find a picture of Mr. Tucker at some other time, but I've got a picture of his dad and a picture of his mother and a picture of him when he was a puppy. Discord. Randomness. Sin. Alright. Right here is Mr. Tucker. He is one of these puppies. He is the one right there in the middle, on the back of the other one. And that is his dad, Thurston. And that is Thurston. And that is a 2-story doghouse that I built. That is Thurston's mother, Bella, the black one. And then there's one back in the doghouse. That is Sassy, a grandmother. But I built this 2-story doghouse, and it has a ramp on the inside. And I put a heater in there. And I ended up finishing the roof of it. But yes, I bred Jack Russells for quite a few years. And they're awesome dogs. But yeah, that was a cool doghouse I built at one point. Alright, enough of that. Let's go back over here. Yeah, that's why I named him Thurston. Because I had the grandmother, I had his dad, and I had him. And he looked like him. But that's where his name came from, was Thurston Howell III. And his son was Tucker. Yeah, that's what they were bred for during the bubonic plague and stuff. They got short legs so they can go down into rabbit holes and rat holes and stuff. But yes, they're awesome at rat catchers. There's a Parsons Terrier that's kind of related to the Jack Russell Terrier. That was actually the one in the UK. The Parsons Terrier. Yes, those were custom folders, if you ask what was on the screen. Well, getting a spam phone call. Let me turn off my phone. This is a Atomic Punk Knives. Yeah, they're supposedly they're one of the smartest breeds and can learn more words than any other dog. There's one that's amazing. I don't know if y'all remember the show Frasier, but Eddie on Frasier was a Jack Russell. Then Wishbone was a Jack Russell. But there's one on the guy trained that knows like over 90 words. Pretty wild stuff. I forgot that real smart Jack Russell's name, but he can count and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, when I was at work, I found a knife that I forgot I had, and I remember that I liked it. And it's that one we did the work on with the mill blade, that 6-leaf SL80, the unbranded version. But I was playing with that all night. I totally forgot about this knife and left it in my locker at work in the back, and I was cleaning out my locker and I found it. And I have missed it. I like this knife. Malcolm, morning, sir. I do have a kind of. This is a Vespa. So this is a clone with M390 blade steel. And one of the best knives. They're probably better than Microtech's. I mean, just in all reality, and I'm not the only one that says that. Lots of people say that. But these are the zero blade play ones, and it literally feels like a folding knife or a fixed blade. Yeah, mine stayed with me constantly. My main one, BJ, that started it all, he got killed by a rattlesnake. But literally from 5 weeks on, he used to ride in the car with me constantly. I've got pictures of him like with the hackles on his back, the haunches on his back, standing up because he's looking at a bear out of the car window. Oh, I know. Good old BJ. Man, I miss BJ. BJ was one of my, I mean, it killed me when he got killed by a rattlesnake. But man, there's nothing you could do to stop it. I mean, he was game and pretty wild. He went after a rattlesnake and the rattlesnake won, and I went through a couple of really bad days thinking he was going to make it, and he didn't. I'm trying to find the picture. Could have sworn. I need to go back and get some of my pictures figured out and sorted. Yeah, what are you carrying today, B. Shady? Well, I've got a whole album for BJ. Oh, I know where they're at. They're in my drive. They're in my Google Drive. That's where they're at. I think. I thought there was a folder called BJ. He was the start of it all, though. Yep, here he is. He was awesome. He used to ride, I mean, he literally was with me from the time he was 5 weeks old until he died. Like, all the time he was with me. This was one of my favorite pictures when he was a puppy. And this is where he used to ride. You talk about spending time with them makes them different. Let me see if the bear picture is in with his back. Thought it was. Nope. But here's the other pictures. Hold on, where are we at? Where does it put? Oh, here we go. Y'all got to check these out of BJ. Cutest puppy ever. All right. Thank you, B. Shady. What do you got on you? Running a T-Rex number 308. So this was him as a puppy. And this was him as an actual... That's where he used to ride in the car, though. And you talk about a dog that would not leave my side, and like I didn't ever have to give him a leash. But there's him as a puppy. He was one of the best, coolest dogs ever. But you can see right there, that's where he rode all the time. All right. That is yes, this is a Malcolm. This is a PM2. It's got a stripped pivot screw on this side, I believe. And we're going to drill it out on Thursday and put these scales on it. But yes, it is a PM2. And let's see, T-Rex number 308. I got to go see what that is. What is it? Be Shady. You got a link to it? Did you say number 308? Oh yeah, we looked at it before. We actually found the exact one that you have. And want to see it? Here it is. What a great price that person paid for it back then. Wonder if that was you. See you later, Ed. Have a good one. Yeah, Malcolm, I'm on my way to make a I'm eventually going to turn it into a REK reblade, and so I'm going to start by getting rid of the blue scales and put these micarta ones on there. Even though this is a custom sprint run or something with the Spy 27, but yes, I like micarta much better. So I got these for $20 shipped. So it'll look way better with the brown than the blue. But I'm going to end up with titanium is what I was getting at. It's just, I bought a new pivot set for this knife. Actually, a new hardware set completely. Because of this stripped pivot screw, I can't get it out, so I can't change the scales. I would have bought scales a long time ago if I had taken the time to get the parts kit. But now I do have the parts kit, or I had the parts kit. It's on the table somewhere. I need to find it by Thursday, I guess. Yeah. It's going to be kind of important that I actually have the hardware that I need to put in. Oh, I wanted to show y'all one more thing. So you remember my little tiny Kevin John with M390, the Sabenza? Well, I ran across another little tiny Kevin John knife last night, and I do not see the hardware kit. Dang it. I should have put it somewhere special because I bought it and paid good money for it. Hopefully it's around here somewhere. There's some screws from something. Protean. Oh yeah, these are the Protean screws they sent me to fix my strip screw on my Skelly. I think my hardware kit should be somewhere close to that, I thought, but don't see it. Oh well, it'll turn up. Aha. There it is. Hemp micarta would be cool, mister. But yes, I found another little Kevin John. So that one's a little tiny Sabenza with real M390. And the other one I found last night is pretty cute too. Cool knife, Be Shady. Let's see, Kevin John knife. It is this one right here. No, that's the big one. It is a tiny version of that knife, though, which is pretty wild. Thought it was only like 125 bucks. Well, I'm not seeing it at the moment, which is pretty good. That's how things go. The way I found it was I went to Reddit. A guy posted a $25 knife. A guy in the comments said, "Is it this one?" I don't see the post now. That's great. Guess I'll scroll down and find it. There's a bunch of new KB knives that we need to look at too. There's a comparison of the blade grind on the Cortex from Lemifshi and Juful. Quite a bit of difference. The Lemifshi is way thinner ground. But let me show you the Kevin John I was talking about. First Norseman project. There's one of the KBs we need to check out. I almost bought one last night. I think we've seen that one. It's this one right here. But they're kind of pricey. Alright, where's the stupid post? I thought it said $25 knife or something. Yeah, I think it's coming up closely. He might have deleted the post. Because it was kind of stupid because he didn't show where it was available. And it actually wasn't available anywhere. Yeah, I think he deleted the post. And that's the only way I know how to... it's the only way I know how to find the knife. Because he posted about it. Aha. Here's the post. Here's the little knife. All right, I got it all worked out. Give me just half a second. This is the image of the little one, and it is a Kevin John. Well, I don't know. Hold on. Screenshot, share, Discord, knife pics, send. All right. Malcolm, I've got some replica clone ones. I got a lot of clone ones. Got an Emerson and Striders. All right. Knife pics. Download. Save. All right. Go back to AliExpress. Do the picture search. Upload an image. Upload that one. All right, here it is. So it's a Venom 2 Mini Python with real M390. So it's the same size basically as this Sabenza. It comes in the same little tin. And like I said, these little things are super cool. Great little collectibles. but $130 is a little bit much. I paid $100 for this one, and I thought that was crazy. I mean, it does have some cool like inlays, and it's got real M390. And you can actually flip it open. But you can see the M390 there. It's got a nice little frame lock. Does lock up good. There you go. But it'll be that same size probably. That little Venom will be. Oh yeah. I think I remember seeing that Homer Zoo chin that Fred had. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. The little one's pretty cool. That little Venom. I mean, if it wasn't $130, or if I could use some kind of crazy code on it, I would. What was I gonna? Oh yeah, you asked about Striders and Emersons. The only Emerson I think I have left is the CQ something 7. I don't know what it is. CQX7, CQ. Heck, I don't know. But I got quite a few Striders. Pull those out real quick. Put these scales back up where they go. I'll put them with the pivot set so I don't lose that. Put them with the PM2, and we would work on that Thursday. But this is the only Emerson I have left. CQC7. Yeah, that's the one. I kept the one with the chisel ground blade because they're harder to find than the one with the double edge blade. This one's a super nice knife. Like, it's got perfect action. Just not my style, you know, normally. But, you know, you can reverse flick off of the disc. The wave thing works fine in your pocket. Chisel ground blade. There's that one. And then, good morning, Dan Stan. And I got quite a few little Striders. I've got got a couple of the little ones. I got a couple of the medium-sized ones, the SNGs. Then I got one of the SMFs with 3V blade steel. So yeah, I've got some Striders. I've got 2 more that are integrals that are this size, the SNG. Yeah, Cat Scratch. There's something about the end of that handle that's just so comfortable in your hand. Like, I don't care where you hold it. So comfortable. Like even these tiny ones in my giant hands fits perfect. Yeah, I've got 2 of the Evil Eyes Integral SNGs. They're not in this case. But let me move a couple of knives around to get these back in order. All right. Yes, those KB knives. Let's go look at a few of those. We haven't gone to their site, I guess, this week. But there's the tiny little python. The Merced, the El Dorado, and here's the Venom. So this version's already sold out, and they did something crazy. They priced it at $280. It's got S90V, and they priced the dark one at $360 with the same blade still. But I guess the DLC on the handle cost $80. Doesn't sound right, but so I was going to get one of these and bead blast it, but then I realized it's DLC and not just dark. But if you do ever want to buy a KB knife like this one, make sure to use the code BobDeal from our buddy. Because if you go here, it starts off at $360 and it ends up at $288, $72 off. So that's a pretty crazy discount. Great discount, actually. Malcolm, yes, I've got lots of fixed blades too. Yeah, it does look like a Taipan. But yeah, use that code if you use KB Knife. If you go to KB Knives. I want to fill one, of course. Like I always say, I want to hold one. We got the Snorri. We saw that one. I like the closed look of it. I like the fact it doesn't have a flipper tab. I like the open look of it too. That's a nice looking knife. So yeah, it'll bring that one down to, let's see. How do you delete things from your cart? Cart. View cart. Remove. Check out. Bob Deal. It'll take it from 280. Whoops. Down to 224. That's a good discount. I like that knife though. How long is it? 7.87 total. All right then. All right, I had one more link wanted to send or look at, I think. Oh yeah, it was just a fixed blade with a pretty cool handle. Pretty cool copper in the blade. Yeah, that was a cool. Multi-layer force patina on Baker's Forge Dark Maul 80 CRV with a copper Damascus shim. Dark matter, red carbon fiber, hidden pin construction. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice it didn't have any pins on the outside. That's a pretty nice knife. There's a bunch of great guys in the knife making subreddit. And you can find a guy on here that's pretty new at making knives, and you can probably get him to make you something custom for pretty cheap. Because like these guys that are just starting out, I'm sure they need ideas. And Mirror and Mirror Monday. Yeah, there's some really super cool knife makers in that. This guy is doing some great. He has his thing down with the tools and the guide to do the blade grind. That's the way you do it. He's going to etch his mark in. Quench the edge in water. Water quench. Pretty cool. Guess it's strong. Yeah, but some of these guys share a bunch of cool knives they've made. Including the guy that does the crazy rocks. All right. What else are we going to get into and talk about today? Oh, yeah. I've got to find a stupid knife box today because I sold a knife. And I sold my other Kamano. Well, I sold one of my Kamanos. I sold the one Paul Mike modded with the dark wash and the flipper tab delete. Put this up where it goes. Put this up where it goes. But yeah, I sold I ended up with two of them. So I sold one of them. And I kept this one, number 11. And number 11 is going to be one that I mod. And this is it. It does not have a dark wash blade yet. It's got dark wash at the top. But it's got good purple on it too. It does not have skiffs, but this knife does not need skiffs. Kaiser did a great job on this knife. So I'm going to do a flipper tab delete on this. I wanted it to follow the scales a little more than the other one does. The one he did kind of goes, well, I guess he lined it up with the back here maybe. And once I do that with the back, it's going to sit below the scales. So it'll probably be really close to the other one. The other one is right here. And I got to find the box for it, like I said. But it is somewhere. Well, I thought it was somewhere. Always moving my knives around. I got them how I want them now in my case, but I don't remember where I put that knife at. Thought I put it up here in the front. Oh, here it is. So here's the other one without the flipper tab. And with the dark wash. So yeah, I guess the flipper tab, let's see if it lines up perfectly. All right, so it is a little below there and it's kind of curved. I want it to match up with the edge of the scales a little. I don't know. I'm going to do mine a little different. I'm going to try to curve it into the scales and make it match the scales. Or this one sits below the scales. It actually sits below the back too. But anyway, I got to find the box for this and get it shipped out today. This one is number 11 and this one is number, oh yeah, it was hard to see through the dark wash. We did look at it one day, but I can't remember what it was. I don't even remember where the 11 is. Okay. It's right up by the... See if y'all can see a number. Oh yeah, you can. Wow, it's crazy. In real life, you can't see that number at all. What number is that, though? Oh, 46 or 45. And then this one is number 11. 011. That would be 11. I have no idea where the box is, but I will find it. And this will be going off to its new owner. Guess I'll leave it out because I got to sell it. I mean, I already sold it. No, I meant the number on this one, Malcolm. Can y'all see that? Is it 065? I'll probably take a picture of it and see it. Yeah, 065. All right. So, what else today? Y'all got any knives y'all want to check out today? That blade milling is super cool. I like milled blades now. I don't know what it is. I guess it's just the extra detail. I guess y'all can see that. The Thunder Beast. Fun suggestions, Robin? I mean, have you gone to Thingiverse and just typed in knife? I do have a lion steel folder. Got a couple of those. Let's look at the Thunder Beast and then we'll look at 3D prints. I don't have any suggestions. I haven't been doing it in a little while, Robin. I will have some when I get my printer set up in a few days. Oh, I like it. Coming soon. Maybe we looked at that last week. And they're really ramping up the price on those new M390 ones. How big is it? 8.26. Wow, yeah, I'm going to have one of those. Why do you keep saying cobalt steel? It's the second time you've said cobalt. I meant to ask you about it the first time. So there are Marvel diorama 3D print Colts trying to remember that website. Gambody. Have you been to the Gambody site for the paid models? Gambody has some crazy. I have access to most all of these paid 3D prints though. But they've got some crazy detailed stuff. And some of them are pretty expensive. But I've got access to a drive that has most all these on there. But I've not looked at like knife related stuff on any of these custom sites with the paid stuff. M390 probably has some cobalt in it. It's a powdered steel, like most of them now. Also known as CPM 20CV by Crucible and CTS 204P by Carpenter. Almost the same. It's a bowler steel. Maybe you're confusing the word cobalt and bowler. I don't know how much cobalt it actually has in it. Let's see. Metallurgy. What does it have? High carbon high chromium steel. Where's the amount? Properties. Edge retention. Where's the makeup of it? I don't know. Yeah, there's a 398, which is the new version of M390, and then there's the N690. I think you're thinking of N690. Yeah, N690 is also made by Bowler, I believe. N as in Nancy. But yes, I don't know if there's any knife stuff. That's what I was getting at about Gambody. Doesn't look like it. There's a Michael Myers diorama. With him holding a knife. So there's also, let me find the other place. Yeah, there's K390. Yeah, Robert Jones. What all right, so the other one, the other place is called, let me see. I can't remember the name of the other site. CG Trader, maybe? No. I 3D printed a Yolandi visor. It's pretty cool. I 3D printed this one. ArtStation. ArtStation. 7 years ago. Wow. I got this thing when it came out new. I cannot remember the other. What is the name of that site? What is this? Oh, this is ArtStation. So ArtStation will have some cool models, I'm quite sure. Morning, Nick. They got some awesome 3D printer stuff though. Some of the paid models. I'll try to. I've got like a terabyte of STL files. I've got a bunch of these saved on a drive. I need to find that drive. When I get my printer set up in a few days, we can start printing some of these crazy ones. But I've got to hook up to the underground where I can get most of all this stuff because I run a 3D printer Facebook group, and I'm in I got some guys in there that get all these files. But there's one more too. I can't think the name of it. Let's see. Paid 3D printer Marvel. So Gambody and oh, here it is. DO3D. So DO3D is the bomb. You can get full size, full body armor and stuff, and full 3D printable in parts. You can get full costumes. You can get Iron Man suits, Iron Man helmets. You can get everything on here, but it's DO3D. And the stuff they have is quite amazing. But I haven't looked for knife stuff here. Thanos' sword. They don't have too much stuff here. But they got some crazy. Let me show you. Well, they used to have a lot more than this. Squid Game. That's pretty funny. I haven't been to their site in a while. It looks like they used to have more than they have now. Yeah, I'm not seeing stuff like I should be. They should have a lot more than this, and we're not seeing it all. Dr. Doom mask. Oh, that's pretty cool. From the Silver Surfer chick from the new Fantastic Four. Hulk helmet. 29 bucks. Anyway, if you ever find any paid models you want, hit me up and I'll try to use my connections and find it for you. Y'all are gonna have to forgive me. I gotta go use the restroom. So y'all talk amongst yourselves and figure out what knife you want to talk about next. All right, sorry about that. So let me ask again. I need 3 knives. I need an original Civivi Elementum. So not the button lock and not the Elementum 2, but I just need an old beater Civivi Elementum. Then I need a Civivi Baby Banner with a silver blade. And then I need a Wii Banter with a silver blade. So if any of y'all have any of those you want to get rid of laying around, hit me up. Yes, they make a Deadpool suit. So they make a Deadpool armor STL. It looks like there's some people on Etsy. Let's see if I can. Yeah, here we go. Here's the full body armor. It's 99 bucks. And it's broken down into all those parts that you print and then finish. You got to use like Bondo. So there's all the parts that create that suit. All the files are broke down into each individual part so that you can print them in different colors or different materials or whatever. And then you can assemble it. And then you use Bondo and sandpaper and paint and make your cosplay. Scaled for a 24-inch head. TPU? Are you talking about using TPU? Catch scratch? TPU is great filament. And it's super flexible. But yeah, try out some TPU. Looks like they've got some new ones too.
TPU. And before we begin, I'm just going to drop this maker coin.
Hold on.
3D printers can make all kinds of things, but did you know they can make flexible things as well? For years, TPU has been the king of flexible filament, and I've used it in tons of projects. But it's not the only floppy filament out there. From flex filaments that bounce to filaments that foam, and even ones that dissolve, these are 5 flexible filaments which aren't TPU. And before we begin, I'm just going to drop this maker coin into this glass of water, and we'll revisit it at the end of the video. Let's get started. This black filament is PEBA, which stands for polyether block amide, and it's quickly becoming known as the super TPU of the 3D printing world. But what about it has everyone so excited? Well, check this out.
Yeah, that's, if you know anything about 3D printed parts.
Super bouncy. In fact, comparing it to an identical print in 95A TPU, the difference is staggering. The TPU is flexible, sure, but it doesn't have nearly as much energy return. And that's not all, because PEBA has one other trick up its sleeve. Its density. This filament is super light. It has one of the lowest densities out of all 3D printing filaments at 1 gram per centimeter cube. Compare this to TPU at 1.2 gram per centimeter cube, or PLA at 1.24 grams per centimeter cubed, and you can start to see what all the fuss is about, especially in applications where every gram counts. I'm already planning to use this in my future combat robot builds, and I can see it being the perfect alternative to TPU for drones and in other mechanically demanding applications. I will say it's not as soft as some of the TPUs I've tested, but it's definitely flexible enough for most of the things I'm going to need a flexible filament for. In terms of printing, PEBA prints with much the same settings as TPU. However, I found that layer adhesion was quite low at stock settings, and I had to bump printing temperatures up by about 10 degrees Celsius or so to get a good, strong part. I printed all of these tests on the Bambu Lab A1 Mini, not sponsored, and light-coated PEI bed, and it works. And unfortunately, just like TPU, PEBA is super sensitive to humidity, absorbing moisture from the air, which will ruin your print quality. This is known as being hygroscopic, and it means that you'll need to dry this filament before printing with it, either by using a cheap food dehydrator or using a dedicated filament dryer like this one's from Sovol. It's easy enough to do, but a little inconvenient if you need to print something ASAP, but your roll is wet. So I recommend treating PEBA like TPU and storing it in a dry box of desiccant between uses, and you should be fine. But what if you want to print flexible parts that are even less dense than this? Well, you could try this next filament, but it's mostly hot air. No, really, it's foaming TPU. Yes, I know I did say that these flexible filaments weren't TPU, but this roll of Flex Air TPU from Soraya is so far from conventional TPU as you can get. I was honestly pretty skeptical when I first heard about foaming TPU filament. Surely it can't be reliable and it must print terribly, right? Well, was I wrong? On the rolls, this filament looks and feels just like fairly normal TPU, but when heated up and melted out of the hot end, the filament foams up and ends up roughly 50% of the original density. In fact, you can fine-tune the hardness of the filament by
you can make some cool tires
and
for RC cars with that.
If you want a denser part, you print at a lower temperature, or you can print at a higher temperature. It's not even that difficult to 3D print with either. The A1 Mini had 0 issues running it with the provided print profiles out of Orca Slicer. I've been 3D printing the heck out of but you might be this handbook melting.
Alright, what do we got next?
Cosplay uses and so much more. But I know it's been on the market for a few years before on. But this next filament has already been a firm favourite of mine for the past year. PBT. This is glass-filled PBT of polybutylene terephthalate from CC3D, a random Chinese filament maker I found on Amazon. And for me, it filled that functional printing gap between PLA and the much harder to print engineering filaments like carbon fiber nylons. This is because PBT is much tougher than PLA and can withstand much higher temperatures, but it prints just as easily on open frame 3D printers, and in my experience, doesn't even require any drying. The reason I wanted to include it in this list is because of its unusual toughness. When you print it thin enough, it's actually very flexible despite being reinforced with glass fibers. You can bend parts over and over and over again, and
that'd be good for prototyping knives.
Solid and hard and fast robot weapon. But next filament might just be the solution for you when you need really tough prints that have that little bit of flex, so long as you can keep the damn stuff stuck down to the print bed. This is polypropylene, or PP. Polypro is the second most widely used plastic in the world, but it's still relatively unknown when it comes to 3D printing, which is a shame because it has some incredible characteristics.
Alright, I know y'all getting bored to death.
It won't weld to it, so you don't have to keep durable, lightweight plastic. But what if you need even less flexibility, but still don't want a rigid part? Then you might want to try this. This is 72D TPU from CC3D. They call this TPU, but I'm doubtful it is, or at least I sink the big. This and has of helpful 3D printing on this list? Nah. Try flexible filaments that literally dissolve in water. This is time mass active by innovative filament company Timeplast. And let me tell you, these guys make some really weird filaments, but this is their core innovation. A 3D printable filament which can dissolve at a programmed rate, from near instant to a few hours to days or even weeks. Dissolving filaments aren't all that new. People have been printing with PVA filament for years, which can work as a soluble support structure or matrix that you dissolve away after printing. And there's various solvents that can dissolve a whole range of other filaments, like HIPS dissolves in limonene, ABS in acetone, and PVB in isopropyl alcohol. But none of those are as friendly or as safe as good old H2O, and none are as flexible either. Printing with time mass filaments is challenging to say the least, because they dissolve in water. They're basically a sponge for moisture and need to be dried extensively before you even attempt to print with them. And the company doesn't ship them in vacuum sealed bags for environmental reasons, so expect to do a lot of drying right out of the box. I had this roll in the dryer for 2 days straight at the recommended temperatures before printing the test maker coin, and it still boils and spits angrily out of the hot end. But if you're able to avoid crossing perimeters, the actual print is clean enough, and they do actually recommend a 0.8mm nozzle anyway, not the finer detail that I usually print on a 0.4. The resulting print looks and feels like solidified PVA glue, and even has the same kind of vinegary smell, but it's a lot more flexible and quite tough. And when you're done with it, you can chuck it into water and it'll rapidly dissolve. In fact, let's check in with the maker coin we threw into water at the start of this video. Now, this hasn't been in here for too long, but it's already very slimy. And this top surface is already starting to dissolve, and wick away dissolves. It will dissolve fully into this glass of water.
Alright, well there's some new 3D printer filaments. Yeah, custom knife insert. Yeah, you need to... So if you want to draw up stuff, Tinkercad is the best place to go learn how to draw up 3D models. Let me sign in with my Blade Alchemy account. I've got some stuff that I designed in my other account on Tinkercad. We started messing around 7 months ago one day. I was showing a little bit how to use it. But yes, Tinkercad is an awesome program that lets you learn how to use CAD software. So if you wanted to design a knife case insert, I would say use Tinkercad, because you can draw stuff super easy and resize it very easily. You can take and make a knife case insert. Let's see. I haven't used it in a while. So you can make it whatever size you want. Then you can go through and cut out all your holes for your knives. Whoops. Let's see. This down on the bottom. Raise it up. Resize it for a knife. And then you can combine these two shapes together by this button. let's see. Forgotten how to use this thing. Group. So now we grouped it. So now it's got a hole in it. So you could make a knife case insert. Whoops, let me get it where you can see it. You can make one super easily in Tinkercad and 3D print it. So if you want to get into making your own stuff, and there's a lot of program, you can use AutoCAD and all kinds of stuff, but Tinkercad is free. It's very intuitive. They have a lot of nice shapes pre-built in that you can do, and you can make any of these shapes as a solid or as a whole. So you can make cutouts super easy. But yeah, if you want to get into making your own stuff, try out Tinkercad. I don't mind doing that one day on a separate stream or something. We can help draw it, but when I start doing some knife prototyping, we're gonna have to get a little bit more in detail with that. But I don't mind passing what I know along to others. Pretty fun. Oh, no problem, Robin. Yeah, so if y'all don't have anything else you want to talk about today, we're going to start winding this one down, I guess. I've got to find homes for a few knives like this one. I guess I need to go in my Kaiser box. And I need to put this Atom clone somewhere. It's not titanium, so... See you later, Robin. I'm about to end the stream, so we'll see you tomorrow. All right, where's my Kaiser box? Right here. I'm going to put this, since it was OEM'd. Oh, it was OEM'd by Kubey. Whoops. Needs to go in my Kubey box. Oh, yeah, you can copy and paste, Michael, same way you would with anything. So I can take this shape that I just made before I joined it. I can copy and paste that, whoops, and I can move it over and line it up, paste another one, move it over, paste another one, move it over. Whoops. I don't know what it's doing now. Yeah, so you can copy these, paste them, move them over lined up, paste it again, move it over lined up. And it'll snap to grid, so you can get it to, and you can set it to however you want it to snap. But you can do that really easy, and then just take that and group them all. And then it turns it into that. See you later, Be Shady. Yeah, so you can do repeatable holes really easy. You can do anything you can dream up. People make all kinds of crazy stuff with this free software. To answer your question, Cat Scratch, the Zorn is an awesome knife. I polished this one up. It's shinier than it was originally, but I didn't touch the blade. But it's got awesome action. It would be a good knife for skiffs, though. I think skiffs would make it really nice. I love the blade grind on it. Nothing really wrong with it. The front flipper is super easy. All right, Malcolm, thanks for stopping in. Come back and join us. Anyway, guys, appreciate y'all all for being here this morning. Titanium Tuesday yet again. I forgot what I said in the title. How many was it? I can't remember. 40 something? 48? 48 Tuesdays? What is the title of this video? I can't see the whole thing. It's cut off. Oh, yeah, 48th time. Pretty wild that we've been here for 48 Tuesdays. Michael, thank you, sir. All right, this one's going in my Kubey box. I'm getting that on video, so in case I lose it. All right, there's one put away. Anyway, guys, appreciate y'all. Thank you for being here once again. Awesome talking to y'all in the mornings. If you hadn't hit that like button, please don't forget on your way out. No problem, TC. Thanks for being here, buddy. But yeah, hope y'all have a great Tuesday. I'm not off tomorrow, even though it's supposed to be my day off, but maybe in a couple of weeks I will be. Thursday, we're going to drill out some pivots and put some notches in some pivots so we can get them out. Like, we're going to try to Dremel either a flathead or a Phillips head in one and try to get grip on it, see what we can do with a Dremel. We'll use some screw extractors on one, and we'll try some other methods. We'll totally drill one out. We'll do 2 or 3 methods. So that ought to be interesting. I'm going to take some of these garbage knives that I found at the hotel that I showed y'all that we're going to drill those out. So I got at least 3 here that we can do. I've got that crazy, I don't know what that one is. We got this one. And we got this one that are garbage knives that I don't really want to touch. But we'll figure it out. Luckily, I haven't had to I haven't stripped too many pivots. But it does happen. When Ed said he had 4 or 5 methods in his closet sitting there on how to remove pivots, I kind of thought to myself, well, if you've had to drill out that many pivots, I don't know if I'd be proud of that or not. That means you stripped quite a few screws. But it happens. I'm just bugging Ed. Anyway, guys, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. See y'all.